This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
All right, last leg of conversation with my guest of the day is founder CEO at Collective Artists Network, Vijay Subramaniam. Really eventful life and career, and the only way is up. Like he said, lots of other plans on the anvil. So, how does this work? I mean, a lot of us who grew up in the 90s and early 2000s had very little work-life balance. Cut to you become head of businesses, CEOs and whatever, brand managers, brand heads, and this and that. And under you are hundreds of Gen Zs who have grown up on the notion of work-life balance. As the CEO, how do you handle that, man? Do you give them work-life balance? If so, how do you manage
So
to do it?
tough.
So tough, no?
What a bad question. Very bad question. But look, I'll answer it from a personal point of view. I think if you really, and this is what I actually say in my induction. I think it's like if you're playing in a band and you're touring, uh, how will you say you have work-life balance? You love what you're doing, right? So if you're playing for the Indian cricket team, and you're playing the World Cup, you don't have work-life balance. I don't think you're allowing your mind to think that way, right? So when we're a part of when I'm running collective, it's the same ethos. I don't understand where the work ends and where the life begins because they kind of merge, and I would rather say that they work more in harmony than in imbalance. Because if you're really passionate and driven about what you do, like I love coming into office every day, seeing my employees, seeing my team. It's not going into, for me it's not working with colleagues, it's working with an atmosphere that I really love. So I am a very bad person to answer that question. And also the world we are in, which I make it very clear to my team, is we're in a business that's moving at a certain pace. We are setting a pace above the standard pace. So is it for everyone? Answer is no.
What about the live events activations business? I mean, all of a sudden, you see Book My Show Live bringing in Ed Sheeran in. There is talk of Coldplay coming in. There are large festivals like Bandland, Lollapalooza. NH7 was always there as a homegrown festival. Are you keeping a keen eye on that space?
Yeah. I mean, we have the Under 25 Summit, which is Asia's largest non-alcohol, no drugs, no smoking, no alcohol youth festival. And that does about 20,000 pops a year. Uh, we plan to extend that to about 2 cities this year. We're planning to launch another IP with a company that we just formed called M19, which is again in the live space. I think the question is, I would rather rephrase it from live to more experiential. I think you need to now give your audience some kind of an experience, because even the IPs that have existed, if you don't reinvent them in a span of a half a decade, they become stale, and I think though you lose that audience unless you're really building, unless you have the value of a Coachella, or you have like the summit for me is a great example. These guys have done it for 10 years, and every year it's a swashbuckling success.
Lovely.
It sells 10,000 plus tickets.
So where do you view the? I mean, I know you get asked this a lot. The media and entertainment space and where it's headed. I mean, when the streaming platforms came in, they said, radio's going to die and things like that. We're still buzzing. So they. Likewise, when OTT came in, television was asked that question. But Indian Idol and KBC and Big Boss are rating higher than ever before. Of course, they also have digital legs. Like radio stations will make podcasts and put them on digital media. So will television. But where is this all heading up to?
I think it's all heading towards a larger consumption path. I think every time, it's what happened with e-commerce and retail. And suddenly there was disruption, and then 10 years hence, everything settled, and it became the new normal. I think your numbers in OTT are not yet validating the buzz of it, because what is it? It's less than 100 million subscribers in the country. At 1.4 billion people, less than 10% with a subscription, right? So I think once that number really starts making a lot of noise, when it goes to 400-500 million people, right? Like telecom, like the mobile business, right? Or the telco business. So I feel they're all going to live in symphony and harmony. I feel the OTT business has given rise to a new era of stars, which you cannot take away from it. But I think theatrical stars will be theatrical stars. You're not going to walk away from the big blockbusters. I think you're still going to have mega stars there. I think OTT will be a separate audience base. It's like, when the pandemic happened, people said, oh, now we are going to consume live concerts on the screen. Oh, where am I going? No, under no circumstances am I going to consume a live show on the screen. Your numbers in your station. I mean, these are all validating facts that everything can live together because there is that much opportunity that's out there. If anything, you'll have a fatigue of options. You won't. It's like Netflix, right? You turn Netflix on, you're like, "Kya dekho yaar?" And then you go back to Friends because you're just stuck with so many options that you don't know what to see, right? You're probably going to hit that, but that will normalize itself.
But with all these verticals, so much of it geared towards content creation, it's a no-brainer to ask you: are you getting into OTT production? Are people coming to you with interesting scripts and saying,
Yeah.
Vijay, can you translate this? And
We
make it
package more shows for OTT than probably any singular production company in this country. We already do it. We have more than 10 titles across various platforms releasing every year. So we do a very, very strong and significant throughput of that. Collective Creative Labs and the legacy business at Collective Artist Network, which is the motion picture and talent business, does that for a living every single day. Our rooms are always filled with scripts. We are always packaging material for our clients. That's nothing. That's nothing out of the ordinary. We're actually doing it. But really, for me, the advantage with putting a layer of tech over all of this is really the real key, right? Like if you look at Terribly Tiny Tales, they have a beautiful writing and visual design workshop. It may give us the next DOP. It may give us the next big script writer or the screenplay writer. That's what we're looking to unearth, right? If you really want to make an impact, you need to actually find new talent coming into the ecosystem.
In a lot of ways, and this is going to be my last question, in a lot of ways, because you're the pioneer of what you do, you're also obviously training talent managers on the way. When you put a bunch of talent managers into a room and you workshop with them, for example, I buy the whole thing about nurturing talent, and I love the way that you came forward saying, all these guys who are complaining about entourages don't know the real value of talent, and I appreciate that, because I started off as talent myself, continue to be. But is there also a sense that you pass on to your talent manager saying there is a no bullshit threshold? Or sometimes you've got to show a mirror to your A-list stars saying, hey, allow us to handle this. Or, maybe you want to step in line. Are you in a position, you are of course in a position to do that, considering the number of clients you have and your growth story.
Well, the straight answer to that is when you have an element of trust, the conversation becomes easier, right? I think you're dealing with creative people who have their own sets of beliefs, right? And you just have to manage it. That's your job. You're not doing anything special. That's fundamentally your job to do it. But I think fundamentally the way I see it, I keep telling, for me, you have to out-passion the person you're working for, right? You have to be as passionate about their life. The moment, you are that passionate about their life, the chances are they know that nothing is coming from a place of mistrust, right? Then you just say, okay, I'll live with you, I'll die with you, I'll wake up with you, and I'll sleep with you, but then just, we are literally breathing the same air of passion, right? And most of the times, when they're out there doing their work on set, if you're sitting and consistently thinking about them and seeing what you can do for them, I think the chances are trust leads to candor.
Well done. Great fun, man, chatting
Likewise,
with you.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, and hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
That was Vijay Subramaniam, founder, CEO at Collective Artists Network. I hope you enjoyed the gig. I'm Hrishi K. See you back in a bit.
Give it up!
Thank you.